And this brings the anime to an end. Comment for part 7. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on another video. Until next time, take care. One day, Carol extended an invitation for the two of them to come over to her house and spend some leisure time together. Despite being caught off guard, Tomo and Gundu agreed and headed to the address Carol had given them. Upon arriving, they were greeted by Carol's mother, who welcomed them into the luxurious property. Carol was eagerly waiting for her friends, her eyes lighting up as soon as she saw them. The three of them headed to Carol's room, and Tomo was taken aback by its grandeur, asking Carol in amazement if she was a princess. Meanwhile, Gundu remained unimpressed and reserved, as was her nature. Carol pulled out some old pictures from her childhood, and Tomo couldn't believe that Carol had not changed much over the years. They then played a game of Othello, with Carol easily defeating both of her friends. Despite Gundu having some prior experience with the game, she was unable to put up much of a challenge. The three friends spent an enjoyable time together, and got to know Carol's mother better. At school, Jun approached Tomo with excitement in his eyes, revealing that he had finally acquired the video game that had been the topic of their recent conversations. He proposed a plan for an evening gaming session and offered for Tomo to spend the night at his place since there was no school the next day. Initially, Tomo was taken aback by the thought of being alone with Jun overnight, but after seeking advice from her friends Gundu and Carol, she decided to take him up on his offer. Upon arriving home, Tomo nervously asked for her parents' permission to stay at Jun's house, but to her surprise, they didn't have any objections. That evening, Tomo made her way to Jun's house, and was surprised to learn that they would be home alone, as Jun's mother was away for the night. As Tomo settles into Jun's home for the evening, she decides to indulge in a warm bath before they begin their gaming session. The relaxing soak makes her a bit self-conscious, but as they start playing video games, she gradually becomes more relaxed and comfortable. Despite their eagerness to stay up late into the night, they find themselves unable to keep their eyes open. As Jun falls asleep, Tomo takes the opportunity to take a closer look at his face, only to find herself being hugged in his sleep. The next morning, they are both slightly embarrassed by the close proximity they shared throughout the night, and try to avoid each other's gaze as much as possible. One regular day, Tomo is caught off guard when she finds out that the midterms are just around the corner, the next day to be exact. When she approaches her classmates, Carol and Gundu, for insight, she realizes they're already ahead of the game, having not forgotten about the impending exams. To help Tomo prepare, Gundu invites her over to her house that evening. But to Tomo's surprise, Jun also offers to lend a hand in her studies. Gundu quickly reminds him of his tendency to rank around 30 in class, whereas she consistently tops the charts. Though Tomo is used to seeking Jun's company, this time it's clear that Gundu is more focused on her friend's academic success than her love life. As the day of the midterm exams drew near, Carol joined Tomo and Gundu in their study session at Gundu's house. The three of them focused their efforts on mastering mathematics, with Gundu leading the way. To their surprise, they discovered Carol's incredible talent for solving complex problems with ease. However, Gundu reminded them that the process was just as important as the answer, and that they wouldn't receive any marks if they couldn't show their work. Despite the challenges, the three of them studied hard and put in their best effort. When the test results were announced, Tomo was overjoyed to find that she had scored a 70, while Jun received a 54 spot, and Gundu received a second spot, but everyone gets shocked as Carol revealed to be the first position holder. On the day of Tomo's birthday, June was ready to escort her to school. But before they left, he had a special surprise for her, a pair of stylish sunglasses she had been eyeing lately. Tomo was overjoyed with the gift and couldn't wait to show it off to her friend, Gundu. However, Gundu's reaction wasn't quite what Tomo had hoped for. It only served to annoy her. Gundu, not wanting to be outdone, had her own birthday present to give to Tomo. It was a reference book, a practical yet thoughtful gift. Just when they thought the surprises were over, Carol burst onto the scene, struggling under the weight of a heavy object. It turned out to be a golden brick. Tomo was in disbelief. This was too much for a birthday gift. Carol reassured her, explaining that she had an even bigger golden brick back at her home, and that this was just a small token of their friendship. Gundu and Carol then invited Tomo to spend the following Saturday at Gundu's house for a girls' day out. That weekend, the three friends had a blast as Gundu and Carol gave Tomo a complete makeover, transforming her into a fashionable young woman. They then playfully forced her to run an errand for them to buy ice cream. When Tomo made her way to the local supermarket, she was taken aback to come face to face with June. Despite their close resemblance, June seemed not to recognize her and instead acted as if he had never seen her before. Tomo, feeling flustered, quickly gathered her purchases and tried to make a hasty exit, but her feet had other plans. She tripped and tumbled to the ground, her face taking the full impact. Just as she was starting to feel embarrassed and hopeless, June appeared by her side, offering his hand to help her up. To Tomo's surprise, June agreed to walk her home. Along the way, they stumbled upon a group of children playing a lively game of football. The sight sparked something in Tomo, and she couldn't resist joining in on the fun. As Tomo and June sit quietly and watch the kids play, they take note of a young boy and girl, beaming with joy as they celebrate a goal together. June turns to Tomo, still unaware of her true identity, and wonders what the future holds for the young couple. Tomo, feeling a flicker of familiarity in the moment, shares her thoughts that the two kids could end up as a romantic couple when they grow older. This prompts June to confide in Tomo that he too has a special connection with a girl at school, but has yet to decide on their future. However, Tomo holds her tongue, not wanting to reveal her true identity to June just yet. As they both observe the melting ice cream, Tomo quietly excuses herself and rushes back to Gundu's house. The annual school sports tournament was fast approaching, and all eyes were on Tomo, who was known for her unmatched athletic abilities. Despite her impressive skills, the girls' team was wary of her power, and Tomo found herself rejected from their roster. But things took a surprising turn when the girls' coach drafted Tomo into boys' team, much to Tomo's disbelief. Meanwhile, June was ecstatic about the prospect of playing alongside Tomo. The day of the boys' dodgeball tournament arrives, and Tomo's team is eager to take the court. As they prepared to play their first game, they soon realize that their opponents are none other than the infamous gang they once defeated in a school brawl. With Tomo leading the charge, the team effortlessly dominates their opponents, effortlessly cruising to a resounding victory in their first match. The second round proves to be just as effortless, as they cruise to another dominant win. Tomo's team was faced with a daunting challenge in the second round, as they faced off against Misaki's squad. Misaki, being the caring captain he was, reminded his players to prioritize their safety and well-being. However, despite his efforts, Tomo and June proved to be too much for Misaki's team to handle, leading to a one-sided match and even resulting in Misaki himself getting hit hard by a throw from June. The final round approached, and Tomo's team was now faced with the daunting task of taking on the school's strongest student, Guru, whose sheer size and power intimidated even the toughest of opponents. But Tomo and June were determined to give it their all, even if it meant battling against a seemingly unbeatable foe. When the game is finally played, Goru slowly eliminates everyone until he decides to target Tomo. But just before a high-speed throw is about to hit her, June jumps in front, takes the throw on his back instead of Tomo, and gets eliminated instead. Angered, Tomo then puts all her strength to throw the ball at Goru, who is ready for any situation. But he does not realize that it's a trick throw. The ball goes between his legs and ends up in Tatsumi's hand, who then eliminates Goru. The combined team of Tomo and June declared as the winner, and the winner of the boys' dodgeball tournament. As the victors of the boys' dodgeball tournament, Tomo and June basked in their triumph. However, Goru wasn't satisfied, and he approached June, challenging him to a game of wrestling. Despite Goru's proficiency in judo, June's mastery of karate was too much for him to handle, and he was easily overpowered and brought down. June calmly explained that Goru's tendency to let his guard down was his downfall. As the intense grappling match between June and Goru continued, June came to the realization that Goru's strength was unmatched. Despite this, Goru showered June with praise for pushing him to his limits, even though June never relied on his karate techniques during the fight. In Goru's eyes, June was the true winner of the match. He couldn't help but wonder why June shied away from participating in any other sports competitions where he could showcase his remarkable fighting skills. To Goru, it seemed like a waste of June's immense talent. As he thinks about his motivation to start learning to fight, June feels that he just wanted to catch up to Tomo, whose big back intimidated him since they were kids. But he does recognize that time has changed now, although has no idea how to truly deal with the situation. When he later walks back home with Tomo, June realizes that he is still the gamer he once used to be, and has only become strong-willed thanks to the presence of Tomo in his life.